Hey, Warren. Hey, Warren,
Hey,
we're gonna start this.
okay, hold on. Let me just finish up my coffee to
Okay. Looks
finish
delicious.
finish pouring.
Looks really good.
All right, I'm cutting it out a little early for you.
That's okay. What do you put in your
It's three
coffee?
quarters of the way done.
What do you put in your coffee?
Uh, Typically I Bailey's if I'm
That's good.
working, but
Yeah,
otherwise just almond milk.
I love it. I love it. That's not one of the first questions though, but it's a good one. And shout out to the dude. Shout out to the dude getting ice in the back with the sweater vest on. All right, so let's get going. All right, so tell me, Warren. Question number one. Tell me about your first memory of making a charitable donation.
First memory of making a charitable donation was with time, and it was with my parents' small business. So my mom ran this therapeutic horseback riding clinic outside of DC, and she asked me to do, basically a series of chores that wasn't directly comped for. So I think, whether you're donating money or time, it's all important. So that's my first memory is just doing chores around this horse farm for free.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The next question isn't as deep, but just as important. Tell me, what's the best Jewish deli in LA?
It's got to be Wexler's. Not only is there a Century City location, which is pretty close to my place, both office and house, but they've got this turkey bird sandwich that is to die for.
Hopefully not literally. So let's talk about, now that we're on food, what's your least favorite Jewish food? Least favorite.
Pastrami. I never understood just the whole class. Pastrami sucks. I don't know
Wow.
why anybody likes it.
And
It's not good for you. It's not tasty.
What about your
It's tough.
favorite? What about your favorite?
I mean, look, I like to exercise a lot. Sometimes I need a carb load. So just, the classic challah. The
Wow.
classic challah. Yeah.
Right, bread for the W. So we just, not just, but a little while back, we did Hag Purim, did a little Purim celebration. What's your go-to Hamantashen filling?
Definitely a jam of some sort. I'd say raspberry.
Delicious, so good.
Mm-hmm.
And your bar mitzvah, right? Probably just passed a little while ago because you look so young. What was the theme of that? What was the theme of that bad boy?
I actually had a really unique bar mitzvah. I'm sure everybody says they have a unique bar mitzvah, but I actually had mine on Masada as part of this my parents were divorced. So at the time we were in Sunday school, things got a little bit delayed. So when I went to Israel for the first time is when I had my bar mitzvah. It was top of the Masada. So obviously tons of history. But so the theme was just, I think that the name of the trip was Shorashim, which meant roots. So I think that just embodied my bar mitzvah too, which is just reconnecting with Israel.
What number sunblock did you wear on top of Masada? Remember?
It was 75. It was called Ozone. It was the highest you can get. For somebody pale as me, you gotta lather up.
Beautiful. All right, let's talk about Jewish people through history. If you could be sharing this coffee with one famous Jewish person in history, who would it be?
Can it be current history?
Sure.
Okay, little modern history. So Adam Sandler seems like an awesome guy, really funny, just generally somebody that I want to have a cup of coffee with, maybe a beer.
Love it. And how many times a day does your mom call you?
Minimum 2, but that's, there's some exceptions to that. So, her 65th birthday is coming up soon. So it's kind of ticked up a little bit, probably 3 or 4 now that we're getting kind of close to her big milestone.
And have you called her today?
I did not call her today. Typically she calls me in the morning. Sometimes when I walk, there's a period of time between my podcast when I get home that I'll touch base, but haven't today.
That's nice. We're going to speed this up a little bit, so have a sip of coffee because we're going to keep this into gear.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Favorite Jewish camp memory?
So didn't go to Jewish summer camp, but rode bicycles for raising money. So it's bringing me and my, group of friends on tour to summer camps, which is every year we rode 100 miles, a lot of people's first time.
Look how you did that. Look how you brought it all together. That was amazing. Did you meet your soulmate on Birthright?
I did not. meet my soulmate on Birthright, but we met at a Guardians event in Los Angeles.
I would ask if you met any mate on Birthright, but I think that answer is obvious. Have you been to Israel? If yes, share your most cherished memories. I think we already got this, but let's go for it again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the bar mitzvah was huge. Met a really close friend of mine. But most cherished memory of Israel was probably in the kibbutz. It was just such a weird socialist situation, and everyone had kind of like their own little good or service they sold. So it was like a little micro economy. That was pretty fun.
Wow, beautiful, actually. All right, A, Larry David, B, Jerry Seinfeld, or C, neither?
C, probably Adam Sandler.
Although
Larry David is actually really great. So maybe a tie between C and A.
I think this is wow, this is amazing that this is coming up. Favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Definitely Wedding Crashers. As you know, my fiance and I are planning a wedding. I just have to watch it a few times. We actually saw it in a drive-through theater during COVID recently, which is an awesome blast from the past.
That is amazing. All right, I'm seeing a trend here, but favorite Jewish celebrity?
Who's the Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty tough.
All right, I like it. Favorite Jewish athlete?
Is that a trick question? No, I'm just kidding. Who is my favorite Jewish? You know, I don't really have one that comes to mind. I'm gonna hit a pass.
Okay, no problem. Favorite thing about being Jewish in LA?
Being Jewish in LA, the camaraderie.
Love it. And great lead-in. I like how they planned this. How did you first get involved with the Federation?
Birthright, yeah. A lot of ways, but folks from my Birthright trip, when I moved to DC, I still connected with, and they said you got to meet, at the time, Jason Harris, who I think he's shifted gears to another nonprofit, but they kind of connected dots through folks that I knew from Birthright.
Wow. I don't know if you follow the news, but we just had a helicopter flight on Mars, which leads me to my next question is, how would you describe the Federation to an alien that landed on Earth?
Alien on Earth. I mean, it's one of those aliens. That's a good question. Probably one that changes a lot of forms. Ones that kind of is a chameleon alien.
So how would you explain it to an alien? Like if the alien lived on Earth and you wanted to know what the Federation was.
I thought you were drawing parallels.
No.
Yeah. I mean, just a great organization, raised a lot of money, mainly for Jewish people, but not exclusively. That's based in LA, that leads into an umbrella organization at the national level.
Beautiful. Well done. If you ever want a job, join us. All right. Okay, this is a good one. You ready?
Yeah.
Besides this exact moment, what is your most impactful Jewish Federation memory?
Impactful Jewish Federation memory. So I'm just going to go outside.
Yeah, let's get some sun. I like it. Good idea.
That's why we moved to LA. So favorite Jewish Federation memory, selfishly, I'm not a huge public speaker. It didn't come naturally to me. So speaking in front of 500 people was definitely when I kind of proved to myself that public speaking wasn't, there wasn't a lot of anxiety. You just got to go up there and do it. So for me personally, that was my favorite Jewish Federation memory, other than the one that I just mentioned, which is the tour to summer camp, raising over $1 million that year and getting a lot of people involved for the first time in cycling.
Are you wearing the 75 sunblock from your bar mitzvah right now? No,
I got the umbrella up.
Oh, beautiful. I was going to say, we'll make it quick. All right. So who inspired your connection to Judaism?
Probably my mother. Yeah, she was the first, person, obviously, in my life that really, she kind of lives by a lot of the principles of Judaism. So just showing, she was kind of like pack leader for Judaism for me and my brother and my family. So that was definitely the biggest, role model that I had.
Lovely. Did you wake up today with any anxiety?
With say it again, anxiety?
Yeah. Did you wake up today with anxiety at all?
No.
No. Good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious are these questions making you?
4.
Okay. Recite the 4 Passover questions in English or Hebrew. Don't have to sing them.
The 4 Passover questions?
Yeah. What they asked?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's fine.
My anxiety went from 4 to 12. I usually just read out of a book that's transliterated.
I love it. Okay. Favorite Hanukkah present of all time?
Probably the necklace that I'm wearing, which is a Merkaba. And it's like a 3D Star of David.
It's amazing. I love it. Tell us something you will atone for this year.
It's a good question. For this year, okay. You know, it's a personal situation. I hope this is, unscripted. But my brother needed a little bit of help, and I don't feel like I was there for him as much as I could have been.
Wow. That is beautiful, and thank you for sharing it. And it's been a tough year, and I appreciate you sharing
keeping it 100. Okay. Just being you.
I actually love it. Is there something you want to kvetch about right now?
Confess?
Kvetch. Complain.
I mean, there's always stuff to complain about, but not really. I mean, I feel like life is okay, and in general, I try to be more grateful than complain.
Why don't let's stand up. Let's get a view of what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm at the office right now. This is our outside patio.
Wow.
And there's a view of Century City behind me.
Love it.
And then we're on Rodeo Drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Rodeo and Wilshire. Yeah.
Great. All right, we're going to keep going. You ready?
Sure.
What Jewish value resonates with you the most?
Probably charitable giving. It's a lot of people, again, whether you give time or money, they can do something, and that just seems like it's really one of those values that kind of stuck with me from a young age. It's really something I hope to pass my future kids.
Love it. All right, can you get drunk off Manischewitz?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I think I know the answer to this. Have you ever eaten an entire challah in one setting?
No, I always like to break bread with friends.
Oh, wow. You turned that around on me, from gluttony to being a good person. LA versus New York City. Who wins the bagel championship?
It's definitely New York City. And I've never lived there. I don't have much affiliation besides the company I work for is based there, for the U.S. operations at least. But there's something in the water. Bagels crush LA bagels any day of the week.
All right. We're losing some sound. Let's head back inside and get that Wi-Fi back to full strength. While we're walking in, seeing that you're out in the sun, let's talk about coping mechanisms during the pandemic. You got any good ones?
Yeah, I mean, cycling for me, and just going on hikes. Hikes is what helped out a lot.
Great. All right.
Phone back down.
I might need some bike advice for you once we log off. All right. Describe your philanthropic leadership involvement looked 5 years ago. How did that look 5 years ago? By the way, nice company advertising there.
Oh, like the plug? I finished the other cup. So philanthropy 5 years ago?
Yeah, how'd it look?
I just moved to LA, and I think I joined the Jewish Federation Running Club, introduced by Sharad Nahai, good friend of mine. And I was like the liaison between the runners and the federation. So that was kind of my first philanthropy. But then, otherwise just kind of donating to various causes. And my father's always been a long supporter of WWF, which is basically for nature. So, just small checks here and there.
All right, I'm going to add an extra question. How many questions do you think we've asked so far? Take a guess.
20.
Well, it's okay. We're at 33.
Nice.
So we're in the home stretch, as they say. I don't know what they say that is in bicycling, but it's something else. Last leg, I think. What is your vision for the Jewish future?
Certainly one that embodies a lot of diversity. And, I think as the demographics change, the Jewish Federation or the Jewish future needs to embrace folks from all backgrounds, not only race, but also other religions that may have converted or other geographies. So I think that's probably the overarching theme is inclusion to the Jewish future, and then also education. I feel like a lot of folks will just link being Jewish to eating bagels or challah, but reading Torah is kind of part of it, and I think there's a lot of good nuggets of information, in the document.
Oh, I love that. I really do. What part of the Federation's work are you most proud of?
It's all important. Where I sit, I see the most of ensuring the Jewish future and kind of a stakeholder in that. So I definitely am most proud of building what programming looks like, for the people that are coming through the Federation, but also through the Jewish community. So definitely ensuring the Jewish future.
Love it. Speaking of the Jewish future and the young children and the kids, last question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Favorite TikTok trend? Show us.
Oh, have you seen the TikTok trend? By the way, I had 1 million views on my first TikTok video, and then I shut it down when there's some shady, dealings with China, and I don't know, it just seemed like it was getting a little bit tense. But favorite TikTok was the song "Blinding Lights." It goes da 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 da. The leg goes, and yeah, it was just a great video. It really, full circle. That was how I got through COVID in the first 1 month was TikTok. Me and my fiance showing up every day.
TikTok. Wow. Warren, listen, you made it through all 36, and I found this thoroughly enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to having a Bailey's and coffee or something in the near future. And I really want to thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for the time. Take care.